what's the dynamic around him right now?
First of all, great to see you, Chris. Look, I don't consider myself elite in any way, shape, or form, but I'm with Chris Matthews on this. I thought that tonight's rally in Michigan was a real game changer. And, 48 hours ago, I really thought that Nancy Pelosi had opened the door a crack to a possible intervention with Biden to tell him to step aside. Now, that would have been a really heavy lift. It would have required family, close friends, probably Jim Clyburn, Mike Donilon, and among others. But I think the NATO press conference started to close that door. And tonight, I think that rally in Michigan slammed it shut because that was a tour de force. It was the best I've ever seen on the stump.
Yeah,
it was maybe not Mario Cuomo in San Francisco, but it was sure as hell. Give him hell, Harry. It was, and of course, Harry Truman is a perfect role model for Biden right now, and I think that's going to be the strategy.
Two quick things. One, Biden always used to say that when he heard my father in '84, he said, that guy is actually better than me. And he said, I've never felt that about anybody else, which tells you something about his head. But also, Chris, do you put any credence in the idea that Obama or Ron Klain are calling the shots about what happens with Biden?
No,
not at all. I don't. Neither one of them, and certainly not Obama. Because that's a really fraught relationship.
Yeah, we got three Chris's. We got three Chris's on the screen right now. Let me bring in Chris Cillizza. Chris, I agree with Whipple because again, he's a mentor of mine. But I think that the polls tell the story, and if they stay soft or get softer in the places that matter, the people who are afraid of losing their seats will mean more than the moment he just had in Michigan. What's your take?
Yeah, I think I agree. I disagree with the other two Chris's, and I'll tell you why. I don't think anyone outside of the very far right thinks that Joe Biden can't do some things as a candidate and can't be good. I thought he was pretty good with the NATO summit. I did not watch the Michigan rally, but all reports, including the Free Press from Michigan, are that he was quite good and energetic. I think that's totally fine. The issue for me, I go back to Jim Himes, who's a congressman from my home state of Connecticut. Very reasonable guy, ranking member on the Intelligence Committee, serious dude, not a headline chaser. He put out a statement right after the NATO summit saying, look, the reality of the situation is that we will have to watch every single speech, every single interview, anything that Joe Biden appears in public. And if he ever looks less than what he looked like in Michigan tonight, it brings everything back. And to me, that's the problem. Like, I just don't know. Remember, in my mind, this is not about the debate. Yes, the debate was a disaster for Biden. But what it's really about is that for 18 months prior, polling showed time after time that a large majority of the American public thought Joe Biden was too old. So the debate affirmed and sort of cemented that, but I just don't think you can fix it. Now, I certainly can be wrong. I just don't think you can fix it by an event or 3 events or 10 events.
Right. Go ahead, Chris. Last word to you.
About the polls. I mean, I'm writing a book now about presidential campaign managers. I mean, they'll all tell you that polls at this stage of a race are not just a snapshot, but they're almost a kind of coulda, woulda, shoulda thing. If you could have a younger candidate, wouldn't you want one? Of course you would. That's not the same as walking into the polling booth in November and being presented with Trump or Biden. So the polls, the polls are just not realistic. And frankly, it's astonishing to me, amazing, that after that catastrophic performance in the debate, that the bottom didn't fall out on the polling. We're looking at dead heats in the swing states and sometimes margin of error. And I think that
Give me a quick take, both of you. First, you, Chris Whipple. Do you believe he sticks?
Yeah, I do. I do believe he sticks. Look, I called my book "The Fight of His Life." I had no idea it would be so apt right now. I don't mean to minimize the struggle, barring another catastrophic performance like the one in that debate. I think he sticks, and I think this is not 1974. Barry Goldwater is not going to go and
Right.
tap him on the shoulder. There
Right.
is no Democratic Party that can really do that.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.